Peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate. Man, I vibe right now. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Right now, man. What's going on right now? Oh, I'm just playing. Want to talk about the X-Men movie. X-Men, X-Man, however you like to say it. The X-Men Apocalypse movie, you know what I'm saying? In which all these X-Men movies is getting more like all these Marvel. Matter of fact, I'm starting to realize how much the comic books was basically just esoteric knowledge and low key stories of what's going on right now, but they just use characters and change it up. But it's talking about basically what's going on right now. Because the Apocalypse movie or whatever basically is personifying the raising of the consciousness of the melanated people who, were the former, I say former still are, but the gods of the universe, gods are basically of this realm, you know what I'm saying? But the X-Men movie is a personification of that and plays on that. And there's a bunch of different little propaganda things that they have. Matter of fact, to scare you, because basically it's trying to scare you low key. Because like I said, it's subtle, subconscious to hit your subconscious. They're not gonna actually have Martin Luther King, battling against Malcolm X. It's Xavier and Magneto. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna put it, like straight up for what it is, for the message that they're trying to, send. They gonna kind of just subliminals, man. Like you 90% of everything you do and all that, man, is controlled by your subconscious. So if they got your subconscious, then they got you. You know what I'm saying? That's why even though people are like, oh man, but that's very subtle, man. Subtle is the worst. Subtle things that hit your subconscious, like say for instance you watching a movie or something and they just flash like like say for instance some letters in between the message like this is for you to consume, like and it flash but quickly, like well only enough for you to barely grasp it, you know what I'm saying, but that's gonna get stained in your brain. You wondering like, why am I thinking about consuming this or consume, and because the subliminal message you done got hit with already, so it's just in your brain and you wondering why. Oh, where I saw that sign at, or why I did, and because subliminally it done already been put in something, a movie you saw or something, you know what I'm saying? Subliminals. But to start the movie off, it start off with the strong, like basically just trying to control and basically scare tactics. Cause two is trying to basically make a black conscious person, a melanated conscious person, seem like they're trying to be God and try to overpower everything. Look at that melanated person thinking he could control this and that. It's trying to implement that mind frame because it's basically like he trying, which we're gonna get into where like give them powers and they think they could do this and then like you know what I'm saying, and then it get to the point. Matter of fact, we're gonna get into it though. Like starting off, and which I'm somewhat paraphrasing, but he almost said exactly like this. But at the beginning of the movie, Professor X, was talking, basically putting them subliminal. Matter of fact, whenever somebody just talking like that, like this is the story of such and such and 24. Like when that's staying in your subconscious and it's quiet, like in the background, all that shit for a reason. But Professor X said something kind of like I'm gonna say it in his voice. Extraordinary beings, but are still like children, stumbling in the dark without guidance. Now rewind that. Extraordinary beings. Matter of fact, thank y'all. I know I did that good. Sounded real good. uh, Extraordinary beings, but are still like children, stumbling in the dark without guidance. As if to say, the melanated people with all these type of powers or whatever, they needed to be controlled. They need guidance. In which, how in the hell would guidance come from somebody that those gods taught? Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm real. Let's be real about it. You know what I'm saying? Why you gotta put guidance on somebody who guided you? You know what I'm saying? Your whole Freemasonry, like all that come from the Moors and from the guy from the black people, the melanated people of Earth. You know what I'm saying? But I guess we're like kids without guidance. You know what I'm saying? In which it would seem like that would be true if you're like, well, it seemed like I got some validity. Look at all the, the melanated people that's messing up. No, that melanated people that's acting crazy or negative is because of the white supremacy and things that have been implemented to make them crazy. Ritalin, lead in the water and all this. You know what I'm saying? The school system. You know what I'm saying? That's what made melanated people crazy and took them away from their godlike status. Also, which it is some stuff on our part too that did get done where we was just falling from our greatness in general, to begin, with on our own parts, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be real honest. And matter of fact, because also the movie with Apocalypse is like he basically like they don't say it like that, but he's like a raising of like a melanated person from back in those times, you know what I'm saying? From Kemet, basically, because Apocalypse got the Ankh right there, like on his chest or whatever. But another one of Professor X's little profound statements at the beginning of the movie in this voice like this. A gift can also be a curse. Give someone wings, they may fly too close to the sun. Now, right there, it's like, a gift could be a curse, in which a gift can be, it's not like a curse, but a gift can be, how can I say, those type of gifts can be overwhelming at times. Like, like I tell people, like the ability to read vibrations, damn near on a psychic level, it's cool, it's tight. I get to know what people are about before they even open their mouth, but in some cases, I get to read deep down people intentions who close to me, where somebody that's close to me that may be lying or something, I could sense that. And sometimes, you know how that situation where you say I'd rather not know, you know what I'm saying? Well, you don't have that with these type of gifts. You're gonna know what somebody's intentions and what they feeling, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, that kind of, that's the what would be called a cursed side to it, for example, But back to the point. a gift a gift can be a curse. If you give someone wings, they may fly too close to the sun. Now, also, he's saying you give somebody wings and they fly too close to the sun. For one, those are God-given wings. You know what I'm saying? You could fly. Why are you worried about what I do with my wings? No, we're not talking about eating wings. No, real wings. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole personification is that fear control system. What if you go to the sun? That's fear. Gods, gods don't do what ifs. Like, we don't do fearful what ifs and all that. Like, that don't, that don't resonate. So that's another thing. Like, where it's like, yes, a gift could be a curse, but if you give someone wings, they could fly too close to the sun. Like, all right, and like, if you give somebody a cup of water, they could drink too much and kill themselves. That mean I gotta control the water or control the pocket. That's another thing. It's saying basically just giving memes and guidelines on basically this is why we should control you. That's the whole like subliminal message they trying to send. Like, like melanated people, you got powers and stuff, but you know, what if you decide to go bad one day? What if you decide to think about them, all that hanging and stuff we did to you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? What if you start to think about that? You psychic and this and that, you know what I'm saying? We got to control you because you might go to, you know, retaliating from past events. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what the personification of all this is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people like me, man. Like the elephant cannot stand in this room. There's only room for one person, and the elephant can't stay in the room with me. I'm gonna speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the reality of the message that they're trying to send with these X-Men movies. All that Batman versus Superman. I think I said something about that before. It's like being scared of the melanated people. The melanated rise. Like it's a fear of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what if Superman decide to heat vision everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, well, stop. What if? Stop being scared. What if you show people love and you ain't had to worry about what if somebody do wrong? How about that? You know, just because you did some fucked up shit, you know what I'm saying? You feel for like that. You know that, like I said, that's kind of like your problem. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be fearful and trying to control somebody because you fearful of what might happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? People, please wake up and realize what they're trying to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? All this subliminal, like, please wake up. And then another little one you come with, give them powers beyond their imagination. Then they may think they rule the world. Like, news flash, like, before, like, tens and millions of years ago, like, you know, we were, like, the only, melanated people were the only people around, and we were, you know, one with the universe, and not say rulers of it, but you know what I'm saying. But in essence, you know, put it like this, you know, I'm a ruler of my own universe. You know what I'm saying, like of my body and what I do with it, and that's the same aspect of, you know, everything. You know, as above, so below, and we are, you know, we rule the universe, not in the sense of, hey, you do this, because that's another thing about it. We understand the universe. We know it's a free will universe, so we're not gonna take away anybody's free will, even if it may be a negative thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a free will universe. You have the free will to do, you know, as you please. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny how, you know, it's like give them powers and they might rule the world. And like I said, and there's nothing. All this too is just trying to scare people, and it's trying to make a person like me that say for instance that's with the knowledge and knowing that we are God, that we, you know, us and God one and the same, and knowing about tetragrammaton and stuff of this. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things, you know, they trying to make you scared of me. Like, oh, look at that black man, think he God, and think he above everybody. Look at him, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the mind frame. Like I say, they trying to feed you this subliminally. You know what I'm saying? And so when so say for instance, you after you watch the X-Men movie, so when I pop up and be like, well, you know, yeah, like we gods and this and that. So the little kid or somebody could look at me like, oh, he like the evil man Apocalypse off the movie. You know what I'm saying? That's what they trying to. That's the mind frame they're trying to implement with that. You know what I'm saying? Or Magneto, trying to make you look bad at Malcolm X for somebody who's trying to uplift the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and which is deeper because be real with you, Martin Luther King is not as Uncle Tomish as Xavier is in the movie. Xavier, like, no matter how much humans fuck over Xavier, like Xavier, like, you know, I don't know, but you know, and which is right too. Like, you know, you don't fight fire with fire. You know what I'm saying? You don't. But like he just was like super laid down ish, like, you know. But which is characters like that to grab a hold to some black people and say, you see, like, you know, be more like Xavier. You know what I'm saying? Don't think about all that hanging and killing that happened to you in the past. You know, just try to change things for the better. This and that. You know what I'm saying? That's that's who Xavier trying to speak to. You know what I'm saying? And then they try, like I say, but they try and make Magneto and Apocalypse look crazy and bad when in the personification of it, you know what I'm saying, on like in the real physical realm, people like that, you know, we not no evil, you know what I'm saying, like, cause another part I'm gonna get to, which because that's another thing too, like in Xavier and all this movie, like, you know, controlling your gifts and that. God damn it, why I got melanin in my skin? You know, God, you know, source created everything. So if I got something, if I could jump high because of my melanin in my skin, or if I got like some type of extra psychic abilities because of my melanin, is that my fault or should I be like, how could I say, should I be have the suppression? Oh, you can't talk about that because now you're trying to act superior. Like, no, get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? This is facts. You know what I'm saying about my melanin, about the things that it does. You know what I'm saying? So why I gotta suppress that knowledge? You know what I'm saying? Because somebody is uncomfortable. Like, I mean, unfortunate for you, but you know what I'm saying? That's God given. This is God-given gifts. And what's funny, some people who may not have the pigmentation on the outside got these gifts, but because their mentality been to down press a melanated person, they don't even realize they got some of the powers within because of the one drop rule. You know what I'm saying? Was just one drop of melanin, and you know what I'm saying? Which is, when it gets so deep. That's why I need my radio show and all that, so I could really elaborate and just really, really run it on these situations. Cause my YouTube really is not the platform to really like just get loose, like how I really, would get on like a radio or talking to people. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? It's all about them trying to control your gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like control your gifts, yeah. In which, like I say, is a gray area. Part of that is right, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't, because matter of fact, raising your kundalini is something that could, like, if not done properly, it could go out of control and you could end up being schizophrenic, you know what I'm saying? Or like schizophrenia is like a blown pineal crown chakra where you basically channeling everything. But if you don't watch it, you could like raise your kundalini in a way where it's overwhelming and stuff like that. So no, don't get it twisted. You know, it is meant for us to to harness our gifts in a way where we could control it properly and handle it and things of this nature, but not control it in the way of like how the X-Men like, oh no, just suppressing. Nah, you shouldn't. Nah, don't suppress it in that nature. And then too, like the personification of apocalypse being like the melanated people. Like say for instance, from all ancient history, it's known that we didn't use weapons or none of that. And I'm talking about ancient. I'm talking about melanated people. You know what I'm saying? Before the first albino or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then turn into the European you know culture or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because matter of fact, that's where guns come in. Guns are basically to battle somebody who are psychics, and if somebody's psychic and they could do voodoo and all this, you know what I'm saying? And if you can't connect to these powers as strong as they can, then what you do, you create something to try to equalize. That's why they call it a great equalize, you know what I'm saying? Trying to, bring it to equal means, you know what I'm saying? Like, in which, in essence, yeah, I don't know if it's equal, but, whatever. But that's where the gun come from, and Apocalypse was talking about that, like no more stones, no more spear. Matter of fact, kind of like how he was saying, no more slings, no more swords, no more weapons, no more systems, and no more what do you like superpower, like, cause he was like, look at these damn people, like these people not even worshiping the real, the not one with real source, and they calling themselves superpowers on it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is done. No more spears and it, and which was crazy because even though he the bad guy in the movie, like say for instance, taking away war and guns and all this would be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's funny how the evil person in the movie, quote unquote, was like, take away these guns and these spears, these slings, these, you know what I'm saying? Which, of course, on other ends, yeah, they made them get a little bit too controlling, in essence, like I say, to make you scared of that melanated person that has that knowledge or that feel like that. It's to scare you, to make the public scared of me and other people like that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's kicking the real knowledge and knowing that what's up, you know what I'm saying? That the melanated people been around and that this religion systems is just to control you know what I'm saying? Again, the Bible 2,000 years old, the Quran is 6,000 years old. The water erosion around the Sphinx is over 10 to 16,000 years old. You know, facts. But you still gonna sit there, and I just said this to you, and you're gonna still try to find a way to justify your religion being more profound than the stuff that came way before it. That actually, where religion gets its information from, where they got the information and changed it around and turned it into their religion. You know what I'm saying? But you got apocalypse, like saying like no more of these with like weapons. Like what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like we got melanin, we got meditation, we got you know what I'm saying? What you need a weapon for? You know what I'm saying? We got love. Unconditional love and stuff, which they ain't speak on that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't make, cause like I said, the comic book made to make them look bad. You know what I'm saying? But unconditional love, like all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the movie was, like I say, to play on that rising of the conscious, the conscious melanated person, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. And like in another part, like where they had Mystique, and like I say, is a personification of what we're doing right now. Cause Mystique had a part where Xavier's like, yeah, don't you see the humans are getting better with us and this and that, and she was like, yeah, just because it's not obvious, just because I know she was like, wait, they still hate and fear us, they just become more positive about it. Man, I love that statement because that's what's going on right now in America, is that racism and all that, it still exists subtly. It just didn't just slap the smile on it, you know what I'm saying? Like positive and polite racism. Like I shake your hand and I tell you I love you, but to hell with your culture and all that. Like, I, and that's it's subtle racism, you know what I'm saying? And that was like a profound thing when she said that. Like they still hate and fear us. It just become more polite. They become more polite about their hating. They become more polite about their fear. You know what I'm saying? But that's all it is. It's just racism ain't went nowhere. It just became polite, if that's possible. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a chess game. They can't just still be out there because they know, like, in war, how could I say, you don't wake up the sleeping bear. You know what I'm saying? They know if they were still out there screaming, white supremacy, white power, like the KKK used to, that they would pop off something that they probably, they'll be biting off a check, biting off a chunk that they couldn't chew. You know what I'm saying? Writing a check that they behinds couldn't cash. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it become very subtle. But that was tight the way Mystique said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, they still fears and shit. They just polite about it. That's just a smile. But look at that mutant. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. Look at that nigga. Look at that mutant. Same. That movie is the personification of that. And when you watch it from that perspective, it becomes so blaringly obvious. Like, damn, like, all right, damn, whoever wrote this and shit, like, they really trying to, get to that message. You know what I'm saying? And like another thing, I don't know what they said there, but I know for sure I thought of that after she said that. But like, just because it's not an obvious war doesn't mean it's peace. You know what I'm saying? So yes, the war that is being held against the melanated people, in some cases is very subtle and it's not obvious. In some cases, because now it still has overwhelming racism, but it just they kind of almost swinging it into the norm, which is a bad. That's what we trying to get it out of, is swinging it out of that norm. But they almost got it to the norm where it's almost you know damn near commonplace, which is not a good thing. But it's like just because it's not obvious war doesn't mean it's peace. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're not obviously trying to whip me and hang me no more doesn't mean that you're still looking out for my better benefit of my because of our culture, of the earthly culture, you know what I'm saying, of the godly, the culture that predates all the cultures that basically are being pushed to the top right now, you know what I'm saying? But it's just funny though. But just because it's not an obvious war doesn't mean it's peace, you know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with like what she was saying. And another thing that popped up on there too with Apocalypse having like Storm on there, for the first time, and you can see Storm as like a version of like a Yemen Yao or Oshun from from the Yoruba voodoo the Yoruba and voodoo spirituality and worship, you know what I'm saying? But that was tight to see like Storm finally get into the story and see how, matter of fact, coming from Egypt, coming from Kemet, and how he, boosts her powers, and now she could, control all of the facets of the storms and the weather and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? and Oshun and Yemenia, they known for like being one of the women of the rivers and the waters and the lakes and stuff like that. So that's funny how that kind of tied together. And just another, I was looking at little quotes and stuff I kind of grabbed from out the movie because I was watching it like just just studying and looking at the things that they were trying to implement because I don't read it no more, but I kind of glanced through my Psychology for Dummies books and all this, but I've been reading people knowing what's been put into movies, like all this, like I know how the brain like operate. I know all that subconscious and subliminal stuff. I know how that stuff works. So when I see these movies, like I watch them for the deeper understanding of them. You know what I'm saying? Deeper overstanding. As a matter of fact, Apocalypse is just talking about how you don't need a machine to amplify your powers. He had a part of where he's telling Xavier that like Xavier like I need cerebral. It's like you don't need cerebral. You know what I'm saying? Like bam, you could do this without cerebral. You know what I'm saying? And basically, kind of amplified his powers without a machine, but basically trying to tell him, you don't need no machine. Like none of this physical. Like that's the whole aspect, and the whole thing, is the white supremacy dealing with the physical realm because of the lack of spirituality, and then the melanated people dealing with the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? And not so much the physical because we come from a spiritual non-physical place, which the story of the beginning of like getting trapped in the 666 bodysuit, into the five senses, you know and that's why I like the melanated people, sun worship. You know, I mean, it's obvious that to worship, if you would probably decide to say worship the sun, I'm pretty sure you would probably sometimes go outside in the sun, and in order to do that, you know what I'm saying, you gotta have your melanin. You know what I'm saying, and which when I talk about these things, like I say, it's always fact. I'm not trying to get nobody, oh, I'm better and this and that. No, stay, get your panties out of bunch and don't throw that propaganda at my videos. Please don't. We better than that. I'm just spreading truth, about the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not living no lie just because it makes somebody else feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? While it's detrimental to me and my family and their growth. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, and then Apocalypse just had a bunch of little like God references too. You know what I'm saying? Trying to throw that in there. He's like you can fire your arrows from the Tower of Babel, but you could never strike God. You know what I'm saying? Like, just throwing little implements in there. Let's see. Yeah, that's basically about it though. But I just wanted to, share that, cause matter of fact, and you got the Doctor Strange movie coming up where he gonna be talking about chakras and different metaphysical things in there, you know what I'm saying? But it's all coming to full circle, you know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, it's funny, like, but the more and more, I say as we go, like, more and more of these Marvel comic books movies coming out, but like they straight almost esoteric and occult now. It's like now I'm almost becoming like wanting to become a comic book nerd, like on the slick. Like I'm like, man, like damn, they low key got all these type of storylines in them, which is personifications of different, of ancient, stuff, ancient information. You know what I'm saying? So, but matter of fact, you see me burping and stuff, but back home. But I indulged in a few little sweets and things I wasn't supposed to indulge in. That's me. I kind of live with my diet, It's like, but I'm not gonna eat this ever again. So that's another thing. A lot of this little somewhat bad foods I be eating, like I'm not gonna eat this again. So it's like, like last time, no. All right, oop, get that gas and that acidity out the body, and back to normal. Namaste. But just check out the movies and peep out the subliminals and all this, man. They putting a lot of messages in these movies, you know what I'm saying, subliminally. And just pay attention, you know what I'm saying. Don't be fooled by the propaganda, you know. Like I say, man, don't be, and that's all people. When I'm talking, sometimes like you may take it like I'm just talking to just melanated people. With lack of low people without melanin or people with all people. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like this, if you're a part of humanity, you know what I'm saying, then you should just be a part of the melanated process in general, because that's all of our ancestors. That's our whole, that's all of our ancestry. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you don't have melanin or not. You know what I'm saying? I put it like this: we all been on Earth, except for the fact that we come from the stars and shit. But I mean, we've been physically on this Earth round for years. You know what I'm saying? Mingling and all that. So common ancestry, you know what I'm saying? Just some people decide to separate and create a supremacy about it, but I still love them too, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they need. They need love, honestly, like real talk. But peace, happy now. Now is the vibrate. Not too far in the past, not too far in the future.